Welcome back to the greatest boss guides on YouTube, and here we are going over the Corrupto boss fight. In this video will show you how to easily beat this boss anytime that he shows up, whether he be in Eidos 9 or the Wasteland. Now let's get right into the video. So we're gonna start off this guide with the poison ball that the Corrupto will throw at you. To tell when he is doing this, he usually does a yellow pulse, and then you will start to see him gathering green poison to make it into a ball to launch at you. The best way to dodge this attack is to either wait for it to almost clip Eve by quickly pressing the dodge key, if you're using keyboard. If you're using a controller, PlayStation controller, it would be circle. Or if you can get out of range long enough to where you can strafe to the side, it will most likely miss you 9 times out of 10. Next, we'll be going over the 3-hit head combo, that's what I like to call it. And this is very similar to the hammerhead enemy that you came across before Abaddon, I want to say. So if you want to get good at blocking this attack, it's very easy to go back and farm that guy. The best way to tell when he is going to use that is when he moves his head to his right, so for you it would be the left side of you, then he will do the 3-hit combo. The best way to, as most attacks, since it doesn't do any pulse, the best way is to block, which will chip your shields, or you can parry them, which makes it easier for a visual attack. Next, we're gonna go over his 2 blue pulse attacks. He will have 2 attacks that will cause him to do the blue pulse, but since they are very self-evident, you just need to go forward and press circle once you see the blue spark hitting your blade. And then as soon as that hits, you do the motion of press forward and circle, and then that will give you a free stun, which will give you free damage. Next will be his major head slam, which you can tell when he is going to do that. When he raises his head as well as his 2 front legs, this will do a massive attack. The best way to counter this is to get the parry timing. If you don't feel like you have good timing, you can always back away and dodge back. Next will be his 2 charge attacks. There will be one that he will do with a yellow pulse and one that he will not. The best way to tell when he is getting ready to run at the player is that the one that he won't do a pulse at, he will get into a running stance that horses tend to do, which they tense their legs and lean forward a bit. The best way to tell when he is doing that is when he's leaning his head down to his right. And then the other one is when he does a yellow pulse. So if he gets into his running stance and then you see the yellow pulse, that's when you know he's going to do the charge attack. Now, when he charges without doing the yellow pulse, you can actually parry or perfect block the attack, and that will stun him out of it, giving you a free hit. The yellow pulse, on the other hand, the best way is to either sidestep out of the way or do a perfect dodge into a perfect hit. This will stun him out, but if you do the sidestep, he will face plant, and then that will give you enough time to get back on him so he won't do any more attacks. If you're liking this boss guide so far, then consider liking, commenting, or subscribing to get more of my boss guides. Now back to the video. So next we are going over his poison rain attack. The best way to tell when he is doing this is that he will do a quick spin and then look to the sky with his head. This move cannot be blocked. The best way to get him out of that attack, if you want to go aggressively, is to either use your burst attack or use your other beta attacks to stun him out of it. If you can't stun him or you don't want to risk it, the best way is to dodge back and get out of range. He will tend to do this for a few seconds, and then you just need to wait for him to come over to you, and it's very easy to do. Finally, the last two attacks will be his two different projectile attacks, other than the giant green poison ball that he will launch at you. So the best way to tell between the two attacks is his motion. For one of his attacks, he will put both front legs up and then shoot one ball at you. This can either be dodged or blocked. And then the next one, he will side prance to his right and he will shoot two green balls at you that you can either block, parry, or dodge to get damage onto them. You can either block if you can't get the timing, you can parry them back to do a slightly bit of damage, or you can do a perfect dodge into an attack which will stun him and get you some good damage. Now after every one of his attacks, let's look at how a full run putting all this together would look like. The boss fight you were just shown was me fighting him on hard mode and with the minimum preset from the boss challenge. As to show you how to actually do this attack, I didn't use burst or beta. as much to try to show you guys that you don't need to rely on it to beat this boss. But if you want to add those to this guide, then go ahead. It's easy to stun them with those attacks. But anyway, I hope this guide helped you to learn the Corruptor boss fight and whether or not you're fighting them on Edis 7 or the Wasteland. Hopefully this has helped you. I will do a separate guide for the Duo Corruptor boss fight and Edis 9. But anyway, thank you very much, and I hope to see you next time on my boss guide.